The Lean Startup by Ries. Reading Chapter 6, Test. Subtopic: Speed bumps in building an MVP. Building an MVP is not without risk, both real and imagined. Both can derail a startup effort unless they are understood ahead of time. The most common speed bumps are legal issues, fear about competitors, branding risks, and the impact on morale. For startups that rely on protection, there are several challenges with releasing an early product. In some jurisdictions, the window for filing a patent begins when the product is released to the general public. And depending on the way the MVP is structured, releasing it may start this clock. Even if your startup is not in one of those jurisdictions, you may want international patent protection and may wind up having to abide by these more stringent requirements. In my opinion, issues like this are one of the many ways in which current patent law inhibits innovation and should be remedied as a matter of public policy. In many industries, patents are used primarily for defensive purposes as a deterrent to hold competition at bay. In such cases, the patent risk of an MVP are minor compared with the learning benefits. However, in industries in which new scientific breakthrough is at the heart of a company's competitive advantage, these risks need to be balanced more carefully. In all cases, entrepreneurs should seek legal counsel to ensure that they understand the risks fully. Legal risks may be daunting, but you may be surprised to learn that the most common objection I have heard over the years to build an MVP is fear of competitors, especially large established companies stealing a startup's idea. If only it were so easy to have a good idea stolen. Part of the special challenge of being a startup is the near impossibility of having an idea or a company or a product be noticed by anyone, let alone a competition. In fact, I have often given entrepreneurs fearful of this issue the following assignment. Take one of your ideas, one of your lesser insights perhaps. Find the name of the relevant product manager at an established company who has the responsibility for that idea and try to get the company to steal your idea. Call them up, write them a memo, send them a press release, go ahead, try it. The truth that most managers in most companies are already overwhelmed with good ideas. Their challenge lies in prioritization and execution, and it is those challenges that give a startup hope of surviving. If a competitor can out execute a startup, once the idea is known, the startup is doomed anyways. The reason to build a new team to pursue an idea is that you believe you can accelerate through the build, measure, learn feedback loop faster than anyone else can. If that's true, it makes no difference what the competition knows. If it's not true, a startup has bigger problem and secrecy won't fix them. Sooner or later, a successful startup will face competition from fast followers. A head start is rarely large enough to matter, and time spent in stealth mode, excuse me, away from customers is likely to provide a head start. The only way to win is to learn faster than anyone else. Many startups plan to invest in building a great brand, and an MVP can seem like a dangerous branding risk. Similarly, entrepreneurs in an existing organization often are constrained by the fear of damaging the parent company's established brand. In either of these cases, there is an easy solution: launch the MVP under a different brand name. In addition, a long term reputation is only at risk when companies engage in vocal launch activities such as PR and building hype. When a product fails to live up to those pronouncements, real long term damage can happen to a corporate brand. But startups have the advantage of being obscure, having a pathetically small number of customers, and not having much exposure. Rather than lamenting them, use these advantages to experiment under the radar and then do a public marketing launch once the product has proved itself with real customers. Finally, it helps to prepare for the fact that MVPs often result in bad news. Unlike traditional concept tests or prototypes, they are designed to speak to the full range of business questions, not just design or technical ones, and they often provide a needed dose of reality. In fact, piercing the reality distortion field is quite uncomfortable. Visionaries are especially afraid of false negative that customers will reject a flawed MVP that is too small or too limited. It is precisely this attitude that one sees when the company launched fully formed products without prior testing. They simply couldn't bear to test them in any less than their full splendor. Yet there is wisdom in the visionary's fears. Teams steeped in traditional product development methods are trained to make a go or kill decisions on a regular basis. That is the essence of the waterfall or stage gate development model. If an MVP fails, teams are liable to give up hope and abandon the project altogether. But there is a solvable problem. But this is a solvable problem. Thank you for listening to the Lean Startup. I will continue to read tomorrow. If you want to buy this book, then you can use the link in the description. Thank you.